So I grew up with a pretty normal childhood. I know people have a hard time believing that. So, I mean, my dad could be kind of a verbal brute, emotional holes, I found out later, you know, like I am an abuse survivor. But we had a pretty normal Midwest life. You know, I know everyone says, like, why didn't you know? But I mean, he was just my dad and I loved him. He was like my best friend. So, like, we went camping and fishing together, hiking. He moved me up and back from college a million times, moved me after I got married. I mean, I was on the phone with him the night before he was arrested.
Just a normal dad.
A normal dad asking me about the tire tread and oil change, you know, that's like our last convo. So the FBI, I was home from substitute teaching. I was living outside Detroit, Michigan. I'm a 26-year-old kid, been married 18 months. FBI is sitting outside my door in a car waiting to arrest my dad. So they were waiting to arrest my dad, notify my mom in Park City, Kansas, notify my brother in Groton, Connecticut, he was with the Navy, and notify me. Because they didn't know what they were walking into. They had just confirmed dad was BTK the night before with DNA. My DNA, I find out later. So the FBI guy, he knocks on my door, and my dad had always told me, like, make them prove who you are, check their badge. Well, I found out later he used these ruses, like he called them, like he would dress up like...
The irony there.
Yeah, like a maintenance man or pretend to be a policeman to get into these homes and murder these women. So, like, I am already in my head trying to vet this guy and prove that he's FBI. So he's like you gotta show me your badge. I got my, like, foot in the door, like in the movie, so I'm like, can block the door. So I'm already, like, pretty on high alert.
Did you process that when he said, your dad's BTK?
Well, I let him into my kitchen, and he said, have you heard of BTK? Well, my dad had started communicating the year before in 2004. So I knew this was going on back in Wichita, but I wasn't very involved, which is probably good because I like to solve mysteries. Mm-hmm. So I would have been deep in trying to figure out who this guy was.
Right.
So when he said, have you heard of BTK? I thought my grandma, who was a widow, my dad's mom, I thought she had been murdered. So I'm like, is my grandma okay? And he's like, yeah, your grandma's fine. And then he just, boom, lays it on me, your dad is BTK. Not that we suspect he is, not that we're looking at him. I mean, they literally arrested him on 7 of the 10 murders. And he's like, your dad is BTK. And that's when everything changed. You were talking about that moment, like I was Kerri, he was dad, and now all of a sudden he was BTK and I was BTK's daughter.